Somebody whom I don't want to mention.
You know, I think Mheshimiwa Ivi is watching me, my friend.
Yeah.
My friend.
He's watching. He said, I wish I had an outrider like somebody.
No, I think he is trying to... What he's trying to justify is being late.
Yes.
And it is not the question of the jam. It is he needs to have woken up by 5.
By 3
and then sure he moved early. So that's not fair.
Yes.
Yes.
So he's stuck around here. I don't know exactly where, but the traffic situation along Thika Road is, and I said it, that at some point we're going to go past GSU headquarters and Outer Ring. And here we have it. It's gone up around Garden City. So Gigi Kagombe, pole pole. If you can do live Zoom, well and good. But since tunaendelea tu, all right.
But Victor,
yes,
there is also something else. As a country, any Nairobi City County governor, any president of the republic who will come up with a strategy to do away with all roundabouts within our cities, within our towns, I'm sure he will do justice to this country. If we did not have all these roundabouts we are seeing around,
yes,
and it is doable, it has been done elsewhere, I can tell you we can be the most attractive country to do business on top of our high taxation regime that we have at the moment. Yes. If you see the kind of economic losses which are brought about by these jams, I think it is something that calls for the country's policy of doing away with our roundabouts.
You're right, because look at Thika Road.
Yes.
A majority of Kenyans are coming all the way from this side, and these are people burning time on the traffic. This is what we have. And
most likely those are the economic productive citizens who are stuck there. So I think we should not be having those jams, in my view.
And talk of the roundabout, do you know we have the biggest roundabout in East Africa? That is Globe Roundabout. It's the biggest in East Africa, as per the record.
Yes.
The biggest roundabout in East Africa, Globe.
Yes. If we do away with those roundabouts, such that there is flow all through, even we will triple, double our economy as a country. Yes.
I hope CS Murkomen is listening to this, because he also said that soon we'll start to have toll stations across some major highways across the country.
And I wish the high taxation regime we have currently was going to first, education. Second, doing away with these roundabouts.
Education.
You can imagine. Yes, you can imagine you are stuck in an ambulance in that kind of scenario. It's not a health thing economic wise. Yes.
But you are defending people on Thika Road, but to Mombasa Road, heading to Machakos. Somebody said that you can actually put avocado here and slide all the way to Machakos because it's smooth. All right, on a lighter note though. Yes. Okay, so coming back to what we have here. Again, the political match that is happening right now in the country. You said it's not too early to talk about. And I know, as politicians, time is of the essence. And the moment you plan, that is how you're going to hit your jackpot. Now, Uhuru allies claim that truth behind political divisions in Mount Kenya. Leaders claim that political divisions in Mount Kenya are ploy to deny the region's bargaining power and push for political vehicle for region was started last week by UDA Senator. What is Mark Mwenje saying here? MP Mark Mwenje said that... I'll get to that, what Mark Mwenje said exactly. But when you talk about Mount Kenya politics, what do you read out of this? We have got two sons of the mountain, that's Ndindi Nyoro, and the deputy president. Call them two sons of the mountain.
I would say there's something called, in international relations, we call Russian roulette. Now, you have a gun, but instead of aiming where you are supposed to aim, you aim at yourself. I think this is Kenya Kwanza politics, which I think they need not to blame either any of the former or current president. I think people expected miracles immediately this administration came to power. But But that miracle was not forthcoming. Instead, they are seeing things they did not expect. Stored development projects. I've also had a high rate of sacking from senior government officials from the government. We have also seen deteriorating agriculture from Mount Kenya and elsewhere in the Republic, actually. Why am I saying this? We have coffee. We were told we will have reforms that will lead to high yields. In Machakos, 5 sub-counties grow coffee. This actually, it is the county government of Machakos that is aiding them. We have not seen much from the national government as it was promised. We are also seeing the issue of Dindi Nyoro. 1.5 years after the general election, I think, bearing in mind, we are expecting the current leadership, the current president, deputy, and prime cabinet secretary, to also run in the next election. We do not expect what we are seeing. That must have a different aunt, not the person we are seeing coming up. That is just the lead. We know behind, we know politics, how it is played. And I don't think that is health for the Mount Kenya, because that is to divide the region. There could also be something else. Somebody, you know, in politics, you can sleep and wake up a different thing from the one you left by the time you are going to sleep. There could also be national politics at play, that we did not get what we wanted. So wait a minute. This time round, we need our own vehicle, so that whoever we will negotiate with, either to support us or we support him or her, we will agree and write down something that is legal and deposit it with the registrar of political parties, as it's the requirement of the law. Because why? We were promised this. This is what we got, the opposite. We were promised this. We did not get anything. So in this case, there are so much at play, and not only in Mount Kenya, but across the country, because people could have been duped into voting for. It could be even the president, it could be a governor, it could be even an MCA. So when you see people reorganizing themselves, maybe most likely is a kind of a betrayal. Yes. Also, don't also rule out future preparation. Hii mambo ni kujipanga.
But then
tuliambiwa hivyo.
How will it play out in 2027? Because when you have got 2 sons of the mountain, in any other party, I've not heard Wiper, Kalonzo Musyoka having an opposition within the party. And this is what Mark Mwenje said. Mark Mwenje is a member of parliament of Embakasi West, and he said that he is the minority whip. Mark Mwenje said that Jubilee Deputy Organizing Secretary General Pauline Njoroge, as well as Mark Mwenje, said that and more than 10 former elected leaders said that Mount Kenya stands to suffer under Kenya Kwanza administration, and there is need to establish unity of purpose.
There is also something else that has come to my mind after you have read that. You know, Mark Mwenje is an opposition person. So it could also be out to get a piece of Mount Kenya to his side. And that could also be another way. But I will tell you for sure, because I'm one person who traverses, I'm not an office person. Kenyans are suffering. Kenyans are currently suffering. I hope a miracle would come from somewhere. But if we continue the way we are continuing, Kenya Kwanza will be the most unpopular political organization in this country come 2027. Unless something happens. Kenyans are truly suffering. I think there is something else that has not been highlighted in our both national and even these FM or regional media stations. People are committing suicide. Why? Because of life challenges. So we must come up with a strategy to address the cost of living in this country. So right. I think as much as we are talking politics, I'm sure there is more than what we are reading.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, DG, let's cross over and see what happened last week. Still on the front page of the People Daily, this is what we have. Ruto the bulldozer. We all know the rulings that happened last week on Friday. That's on the housing levy and the case of Haiti, which was fired by Third Way Alliance party leader, that is Daktari Ekuru Aukot. Bruised by a string of losses in court battles, President has vowed to use fiat in the rush to implement his grand plan. And now he perceives the judiciary as a vexing irritant. That is a story on page 4 of the People Daily. Let me just cross over to page 4. I'll get it very quickly. But what do you make of that on the front page of the People Daily?
First and foremost, the issue of President of Kenya being above the law, I think that is something we need to do away with. Such that even when he is in the president, he can be held to account. Number two, even when he leaves the office, we can follow, the country can follow up and ensure he is held to account for things that he committed when he was in the office. I think this issue of being unable to be prosecuted while in office might lead some people to push the head of state to do certain things which are not aligned with the law. So that is one. Number two, when a court makes a decision and you push against it, what are you telling the country? That thing has a number of effects. One, anyone serious thinking of investing in Kenya will not. Why? That is a country that does not abide by the law. Number two, even our standing internationally will come down drastically because we become we are perceived to be a lawless country. Number three, how are you going to tell someone else if, for example, as a deputy governor, I cannot adhere to the rule of law? How will I advocate for Machakos County residents to follow the law? So in this, I mean, the Kenya Kwanza administration should follow the law, should follow the court decisions. The issue of engaging judiciary, yes, but follow the law. Any court decision must be adhered to. And if you have a problem with, there is a laid down procedures on how to go about these things. If Justice Mwangangi here is perceived to be corrupt, assemble that evidence, take it to where it should, and I'm sure it will be addressed. We have seen judges being kicked out of their works. This is not unique. Taking a whole institution of judiciary out there to political rallies is not a solution. But I'm saying that is not to say we do not have challenges affecting any institution, judiciary included in this country. But we need to follow up the laid down requirements so that we can address those challenges. So in this case, the president, the bulldozer, is as a result of that perception of him taking on the judiciary publicly, and also that perception is not going to abide, to adhere, to follow what comes out of our judiciary.
All right.
Which I think it is a very big danger to this country.
Mbeere South Member of Parliament, that is Godfrey Ruku, said something, and perhaps you can just take a look at what he said yesterday in his constituency.
Wako na vita na vitina kidogo kidogo ya pesa 8. Tunawaambia shetani afanya nini? Wafanyie wananchi kazi. Wako na kazi mingi ya kufanyia wananchi.
The Mbeere North MP said Parliament will soon legislate the Affordable Housing Bill to make it immune to litigation.
Pale bungeni tarehe 13 tutakuwa katika mstari wa mbele kutengeneza sheria sawa. Sheria ambayo itakuwa constitutional, na tunapongeza kamati ya housing na kamati ya finance.
This comes as a section of politicians allied to Azimio vowed to frustrate the bill.
Wenye tutapiga no, hata wakitushinda, na we will make sure we do roll call voting so that you see your member of parliament.
What is affordable about that house? And I'm saying with authority, so mimi ni mtu wa mjengo, mimi ni mtu, I'm an architect. There is nothing affordable about those houses.
The leaders were speaking in Limuru during a fundraiser for a church perimeter wall.
There is nothing affordable about those houses, but with specific reference is that Mbeere South Member of Parliament, Godfrey Ruku, who said that on 15th they are going to move to Parliament to legislate about that issue and make it a law. DG, what do you make of that?
I think the whole message is we follow the law.
Mm-hmm.
The members of Parliament from either side of the political formation are speaking one thing. And let's differentiate politics from facts. Those leaders are talking politics. What I'm concerned is instead of saying we want now to make it legal, why did you not do it early enough before you started taking money from Kenyans? So I think we need to do anything that we do as leaders, as Kenyans. We need to follow the law. We need to adhere to what comes, any court decision. It's very important to note.
Yeah.
Whether when it comes to Parliament it will be supported or not, that is not the issue. The issue now is we follow the law. Remember, all these leaders, is it MCS, is it deputy governors, is it our members of Parliament, is it the president and his deputy, all of us took oath of office. Part of that was to uphold. And I think somebody should go to court to some of these people talking out there, saying they will defy the what comes out of the court. You are going against the oath that you took. And I think you could as well quit. It is not a must you be a deputy governor or an MCA. Go home. There are so many Kenyans who can lead this country.
Yeah.
So in this case, let's respect our institutions. We found them here. We should improve them, not to start fighting them. I find it no good reason to do the kind of things we are doing.
Let me get your mind out of this. The court said that the collection of the housing levy is supposed to be stopped.
Yes.
But the public participation is still ongoing.
No. We go by what court is saying. Let those who are doing what they are doing, let them continue. Once they finish and it is legal, we continue from there. We start from there. But for now, there is a decision to stop. Anybody who is collecting these funds, you will be held to account one day, one time as an individual. William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza will have gone home that time. You will be left alone to battle it out in court. So I want to warn public officers, you might be pushed to do these illegal things, but when the time comes, it is you to be held to account. Yes. So in this case, what I'm telling Kenya Kwanza, you took oath of office to uphold and protect, defend the Constitution. Is that what they are doing? No.
Let's take a break. I'm trying to get Godfrey Ruku, that member of Parliament, to give us a phone link on what we should be expecting. And as far as that's concerned, he said that on 15th they are going to go to Parliament to legislate and make it a law. The court said that it's illegal collection of the housing levy. That was the decision that was rendered last week by the court. Let's take a break. We'll be right back with more. Stay with us. All right, facing a litany of cases that are in court, Two already determined, and now some of them have been declared illegal. But then now the court said that there are certain procedures that have to be followed. We are talking about the issue of courts and the rule of law. Deputy Governor Machakos, Francis Mwangangi, here in studio. Today is Man-to-Man Monday, all right? Man-to-Man Monday. Okay, so according to the People Daily, Ruto determined to have his way at all costs despite orders, and sources paint President as a man who gives little attention to advice from allies, most of whom he considers quote-unquote junior politicians. And this is it. His profile, sources painted the picture of not actually giving little attention to junior politicians, serving at his pleasure, and that is, according to them, the major headache with the loss of cases such as the housing levy and the aborted police mission to Haiti has a huge financial implications for an administration desperately looking for cash to finance debt and implement projects at the heart of Kenya Kwanza development. DG, there is something that I'm picking from here, that despite there is that case of I'm get with that. The government desperately looking for money to settle debts. Here, the cases of the debt is what now the president is now facing. What do you make of that? Could that be hitting below the belt, so to speak?
Well, partly it could, and I'm saying it could. But I also think it is more than that. In this country, every day we are reminded what has been legally set aside for counties. But we have never been told what has the country collected, what has come from development partners, what has been given to Kenya, at the totals and how it has been used. So without that information, we cannot say that statement could be true, because it is those who are implementing who knows the facts. I wish and hope we will be as transparent and so quick, as much as we are talking about what has been allocated to counties. We should not be told what has remained with the national government, how it has been used, and also address the challenges of mismanagement and the corruption involved. So in this case, that statement could be true. That statement could also be misleading.
All right. When you listen to what the court said, the issue of collection of the levies will have to stop at this particular point. So what next for the government? Where will the government get the money to fund the projects? Because going against the court orders is again illegal. So what next for the national government?
The national government is collecting funds. It is not true. Our courts have stopped collection of taxes. The government has been collecting taxes, and the court is specific on a specific matter that was illegally introduced. So in this case, I don't think there is any effects. The only thing that we are saying, we do everything as the law dictates. And I think that is what some people have a problem with. We have to live with it, yes, because it is the law. Yes. Why would be the president missing such kind of cases, losing? We have got Solicitor General here, we have got Attorney General here, the chief government legal advisors. Do you think they are letting the president, the king is naked? Let me just say, the king is naked. I have 3-4 points. One, maybe they were not consulted when these things were taking place. Maybe they were not involved, or they gave their opinion and it was ignored, or somebody somewhere felt they just exist to be seen or to follow what is being done at the executive level, or they are weak. Or the least one could be maybe they are not fully supporting the government, because you expect such cases to be fought in court. But even before you go to court, why do an illegal thing so that you can go and fight in courts? I think it is good. Always we do the legal bit first, then we go forward to implement.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me get your mind. What do you really see moving forward? Because now we have government that must run, projects to be fulfilled, and here we have got litany of court cases. What do you see?
What I'm seeing is we go back to our constitution. We make sure we follow it. We are there to court decisions. And then it is not true that our country cannot run because of the housing levy. Housing levy is an item that was introduced the other day. And what the court is saying, please ensure this thing is legal. Being legal, it means we know who is administering. We know how much is being collected. We know what is being built where. We know how many Kenyans are engaged. We understand what is happening in this case, as opposed to the money is being collected and it is only a few people who know how this public money is being used, who know how much is being collected. I think the court is just saying, be more transparent, be more accountable. And we need to adhere. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's adhere and we move forward. And going forward, let's adhere to the rule of the game. Yes.
Do we have affordable housing taking place in Machakos County?
There's land set for it, and we are still waiting. But we have private players who are doing great things across Machakos. That is not to mean we do not need this program in Machakos. No. Machakos residents are taxpayers. We need it. But it is yet to start. Yes.
Okay. How will this really, make the political atmosphere for the Kenya Kwanza government? Litany of court cases, we have got court orders, and of course the president must also deliver his manifesto. How will this change the political atmosphere for him as an individual and for Kenya Kwanza generally? You not being the spokesperson for Kenya Kwanza, of course.
I think I had an engagement with the current head of state. And the last time I dealt with him was I saw a leader who listens. I think he needs to retreat because it is very dangerous for the head of state to publicly take on anybody or any institution unless it is somebody they are competing politically at national stage. So I think in this case, as our father whole, both opposition and those in government, I think I urge him to tread carefully the issue of taking on institutions which are under him. I think taking on judiciary is unwise decision at all. So I think going forward, let the Kenya Kwanza not be the first one in the history of this country to go the route of destruction, of not adhering to our constitution, not respecting court decisions. The only way out, let's follow the laid down procedures. There is nothing wrong with the government appealing for those court decisions. And if one court rules against you, you can move to the next. And if the next does not rule in favor of you, move to the higher one, up to all the way to Supreme Court. And I think all those stages, procedures, levels, I think they will produce what you want. But it is good you are there to the constitution and ensure that which you are doing, because you saw under the law to protect, to defend the constitution. You just do as such and go down in record as the person who served in whichever level of leadership, that when you are there, you respected court decisions. Yes.
What is the ground saying?
Kenyans are suffering. That is the message. Kenyans are seriously suffering. And I am speaking from experience point of view. I've had a lot of contact with and engagement with citizens, and I know truly Kenyans are suffering.
All right. But we have hope. Perhaps what you can say, there's hope at the end of the day, right? Do you have hope? You are not so sure about having hope. I'm very much at this point.
I'm very much hopeful.
Okay.
I know there could be, Victor, there is something I will tell you. Any president, even put President William Ruto out of question. Any president has a lot of sources of information, and credible information, for that matter.
Yes.
So I'm sure whatever we are discussing here, the head of state is fully aware, even more than we are speaking here.
Yeah.
And I urge the Kenya Kwanza administration and any leader in this country, I'm very optimistic of the future. I know as we move forward, things will not get worse. Things will improve. I am certain things will improve for the Kenyans.
I'm reminded here to ask you: is there a problem in Kenya in Azimio? Is there a split in Azimio? I'm just getting that with the director here to ask you this specifically. Is there a split in Azimio?
In Azimio, I can only speak as a member of a party, Wiper.
Yes.
I'm too junior even within Wiper to speak on matters touching on the party. But I will tell you for sure one thing. The only thing, and as a person, this one I'm speaking on behalf of self, not even my son or my daughter or my wife, myself. I think we have a problem in decision making. Decision making here, I mean, you remember a certain leader, I will not tell you who, saying in public, our problem is you sit in boardrooms, you go a retreat, discussing who becomes your leader. We need to make this decision early so that our decision making is not something you delay until Kenyans are tired. You go make it 11th hour and already people have moved on. So I think the only problem, and it is not a problem, actually it is a challenge. I think it is about decision making. If that can be fixed, I think the better. The other thing is within Azimio is our parties, political parties. Please, let's strengthen our parties. There is nothing wrong with a very strong Wiper. There is extremely nothing wrong with having DAK. This of Eugene Wamalwa, a very strong party and also strong ODM. So let people go out there, recruit, do party elections to strengthen the individual political entities within the Azimio. That is how we are going to have a very strong Azimio in the very near future. So another challenge, I'm not in the know of it. But I know decision making is a challenge within. But it is allowed when so many political organizations come together. You expect that consultation to take a while.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that threatening unity within Azimio? Because if decision making, as you correctly put it, decision making is where the problem is. You had a meeting a week or so ago.
Yes.
And do you speak from different quarters, or you speak as Azimio? Right now we can see, ODM leader Raila Odinga is traversing the country doing mobilization and registration, members registration. I don't know what is happening with Wiper.
All parties within Azimio should be doing what Raila Odinga is doing. We need not to have a very strong brother and a very weak sister. We need a very strong sister, very strong brother, very strong father, very strong everybody. So I think everybody should be going that route. As Wiper, we are recruiting seriously. It is only that we are not maybe loud enough, but we are doing a lot on the ground.
Is it happening?
It is happening. I can tell you for sure it is happening. In our account we are doing it, and elsewhere, every member across the Republic is supposed to, we have already taken a position that is the way to go, and very soon you will see maybe our party leader and other national officials moving to different parts of this country to oversee that exercise. So we are keen and we are moving forward. In any case, your political party exists to one day form a government. How do you form a government if you just sit somewhere and you wait for the next election? That does not, that will not favor you. So I think we need to be aggressive. We need to move to the people and do what we are supposed to do, and that is party recruitment, party sensitization of our policies, and engaging Kenyans to hear their views on issues affecting them, so that we can sit as a party, we can come up with our own policies to address challenges facing this country and Kenyans. Yes.
Perhaps, you know, not diverge it too much. What are some of the resolutions you had during your last meeting as WIPA members?
First, we discussed issues of national importance. Among them is still the issue of cost of living, because that is where so many Kenyans are even committing suicide.
Yes.
Those issues we discussed, and we also discussed on the current national policies by Kenya Kwanza government. We discussed where we think they are missing the point. Next, we also discussed issue touching of Kenya and our position within East Africa. Currently, almost every country has an issue with Kenya. And this issue, some of them are very serious. When you hear a whole senior national government ministers talking of a certain country being smaller than a county in Kenya, that is a shame to us. When you hear our colleague within East Africa taking us to East African court, that is not something that is very positive. When you hear in Tanzania here, the way they are talking about us is not very positive. When you see DRC and you hear some of the sentiments that are coming up, that is not the Kenya that we are used to. We are known to be the predominant, the domineering member, the member who leads the rest within East Africa and even Greater Lakes and even in the continent. Kenya is, as we speak now, our head of state is away in Europe, Italy specifically, and is going to speak on behalf of the continent on matters climate change. Kenya is a respected country. Now, when regionally we start to be seen as an hostile member, is not very good. So those are some of the things we discussed, bearing in mind our party leader has been foreign affairs minister, is somebody who has played a key role to mediate for peace among us, the Greater Lakes and countries within East Africa, wherever there are conflicts. So we are concerned. Again, there is something I will tell you this morning. Kenyans drive the economy within East Africa. That is a fact. Go to any of these countries and you will find goods in those countries originate from Kenya. Major managers, corporate managers in companies within those countries, majority of them are Kenyans. So, and we have seen how expansive our companies, some of our companies are growing within the region and beyond the region. So when Kenya at national level looks like it is like we are becoming hostile to our colleagues within the region, it means we are threatening all that. So we are concerned as a responsible political organization, and all those matters we discussed, and we even issued press about those issues. But by and large, we are a political organization that is people-centered. We only look at those which concern Kenyans. Yes.
Okay, a quick one. Is WIPA going to go it all alone come 2027?
Currently, all the members forming Azimio are busy strengthening themselves. WIPA is part of that. We are not going alone. What we are doing is to seek more partnerships any fallout within Kenya Kwanza are welcome to join us in Azimio so that we can transform this country together as a country. Yes.
What's the rumors there? Running mate for Kalonzo Musyoka, Honorable?
That is above me. It's above me.
Am I the one? But maybe.
Maybe you, maybe my sister here, or
yes.
That is a decision at that high level. I don't want to get into it. But one thing I know, whether it's Kalonzo or not Kalonzo, I would wish we have the next leader of this country, somebody who respects the law, somebody who is transformative, somebody who is going to listen to Kenyans, and somebody who is going to be for the Kenyans and Kenya first.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. As we come to a close, DG, one of the directors here is asking me to comment on the issue of femicide. She's a lady sitting in the gallery, and I think this is so close to her heart. Perhaps
I comment on
the issue of femicide. A number of, we have the latest one, the 20-year-old, which is now across the media houses, and it's been in the headlines whining. The 20-year-old lady who was, first of all, according to the government pathologist, she was first strangled and then her body was decapitated. What do you make of that, DJ?
First, I'm concerned. I'm equally concerned.
Yes.
Because killing, assassinating, or even bullying does not solve anything.
Yes.
What I heard is, as much as I'm empathizing and sympathizing with the situation, I'm urging Kenyans, whether men or women, to kindly respect each other. And I think parenting here comes to play. Issue of guidance and counseling. I think as we grow up, we used to be told what is the role of a man, how a man should behave as a leader of a family, as all these things. I think our religious organizations, I think we parents, I think we the guardians and the leaders, I think we need to take back our role of guiding the young ones as they grow up, so that some of these cases can also be dealt at that level. We build a whole person who understands, respect his or her role in society. And lastly, I think also the challenges that we are facing as a country, particularly economic challenges, are leading to people doing things which I can say are punitive in nature. So I think it is a whole thing that needs to be addressed at societal level, at the religious level, at even the family level, so that we have a whole growing person who respects others.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. Of course, that issue raised a lot of concern, and civil society and even some pressure groups had a demonstration within the city center here of Nairobi over the weekend to just put more pressure on the society, on the opinion leaders, and even the security agencies to ensure that femicide stops. It's now one too many. All right, we are coming to a close, but before then, DG, AFCON, Iko KBC, today we have got two great matches. Let me get you a bet. Kama wewe ni mwekezaji, you know, AFCON Iko KBC. So today we have Cape Verde and Mauritania at 20-0. Who do you put your money on, Cape Verde or Mauritania? If you're a fan of AFCON, here we have them. You're stuck there.
I'm stuck. I wish Kenya was there. Because other than being
we are still vouching for that.
Other than being Kenyan, the next one now I become an African.
Yes.
So in this case, may the best team win.
May the best team win.
Yes.
What about Senegal, Ivory Coast? Two big boys.
Well, obviously Senegal is a little bit closer. So I wish them well.
So you go with Senegal?
I go with Senegal.
All right. All right, so we are still waiting to see how it's going to be, you know, where you're going to get the whole action that is coming up later on in the day, AFCON Eco KBC, and I'm still getting that message of apology from France, that is Gabriel Kagombe. He said that he's stuck on traffic. That is on Thika Road, as well as Member of Parliament Lawrence Mpuru, who is Member of Parliament of Tigania East. All of them were traveling from their respective constituencies.
By the way, Victor, that is very good.
Yeah.
If a whole national show, which is being watched all over the world, we have now known this morning we could not have 2 panelists as a result of a jam. I think that is very good for Kenya. That is what we want, so that we leaders, we also go through what others are going through, and in turn we will think for Kenya, act for Kenya, and bring policies that are going to address these challenges. Yes.
All right. So this is what we have it. So the Thika Road, all of them were coming from their respective constituencies, and they're stuck on traffic. That is the situation we have here. And according to what you've said, DG, a lot needs to be done in as far as the traffic situation in the country is done. We'll try at some point and get the CS for transport, that is Murkomen Kipchumba, to just talk to us on what he thinks. All right, right about now, that is where we wrap it up on Good Morning Kenya. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. We are still getting apology from Lawrence Mpuru, Member of Parliament, Tigania East, as well as Gabriel Kagombe, Gatundu South, for not making it to the show. They have been here before, so we give it to them. But yes, Francis Mongambi, the Deputy Governor of Machakos, asante sana for being with us on the show. Today was Man to Man Monday. Up next is Mike Migwi, again with a man. Today we are going to talk about something else, from politics to church. What is he going to talk about? Stay with us. That is coming up shortly after this. Stay with us. Good morning.